Hello. Hello. It has been 5 minutes. So, let's take a look at the news post that happened on February the 2nd, and then we'll read the following update. Hi, James here. Another month, another post. This is the way of the world sometimes. Not much to report this month, I don't think. Andrew offered some new Homestuck Independent Creative Union licenses, but the one I was most excited to announce is still being worked on. Some sort of legal situation being hammered out. Boring. I used 8 O's there for fun. I hope you liked it. But whoa, vast error, right? That's pretty cool. It actually doesn't change much for either party involved. It just allows them to do what they've been doing the whole time without fear of legal repercussions. It's largely a formality. Or is it? It is. I'm sorry for that little bit of deceitful playfulness. Fucking love James so much. Behind the scenes, it has been a busy month. We are deep in the talks with some merch guys. What else? Oh, some 15-year anniversary stuff. Gosh, still trying to reach the last of the OG music team for this vinyl, but if we can't reach them, we'll go forward with what we have, which is already a star-studded cast of the hits. A lot of little things here and there are ultimately kind of mundane, unless you'd like to hear about the meeting I sat in on that I wish was an email. As per usual, the update will come mid-month, and this one's a doozy. There are so many words. I hope you like to read. I personally do not. I actually close my eyes while typing so I don't have to see what I'm saying. I don't do that, I'm sorry. I keep lying for fun because nobody stops me. Well, that's it from me for now. Enjoy the Patreon posts, enjoy the day, and in a few weeks, enjoy the update. Right, the vinyl. Yeah, that was why I started using this particular album as the pre-stream and the break music. Because of the vinyls and how they were going to be those darn songs. But yes, I remember hearing about this back in February. Yeah, Vast Error has an official Homestuck license now. Exciting. And the next news post, February 10th, and that is the day that this whole update came out. So, we will read this, and then the news post, and then it's looking like that's going to be the night. Be Yiffany Longstocking. I love this Vrissy. It's such a good face. You are Yiffy, approximately 1 hour in the past, and despite being recently detained, tortured, and fed from a dog bowl, the face of true suffering only reveals itself to you now. Yiffy, reveal true suffering. Smooch. Visceral, unadulterated embarrassment. Aww. Your mollycoddling mom has had you on the wrong end of one of her relentless smooch fests for almost 30 minutes. Like an unconscious patient in the clutches of their sadistic nurse, you are helpless against the smothering. Me too, my dog. At least when you were a political hostage, you got to do a bit of corpse dancing. This just sucks. Yiffy, concern yourself with the nervous lad. Ooh, that's a good face. There's just a lot of good faces happening in these updates. Ooh, that is a sharp canaya. Doesn't help that her son is here. Must be nice, never having to face this kind of doting debasement. Sure, his old lady is a tyrannical hag, but she's also frigid enough to understand the concept of personal space. Dealing with her also seems to have given him a few scant scraps of stoicism to complement his otherwise doormat disposition. The fact he hasn't taken a single compromising creep shot of this sorry display for leverage proves he still has a long way to go. Interesting look into Yiffy's mindset. The fact that he hasn't taken a single compromising creep shot of the sorry display for leverage proves that he still has a long way to go. She thinks that he's being weak because he's not being manipulative or planning to be manipulative. No doubt if your posse of pubescent punks back at school could see you now, they'd throw up laughing. Interesting point number 2. Yiffy is, got some buds at school. Some troublemaking friends in private school. You don't even want to think about the brutal burns they're cooking up for you after that televised debacle. What were you thinking, jumping into Rose and Jade's arms like some mewling pup? Even if you declare clown-induced insanity, you'll probably have to do some drastic gymnastics to earn back a modicum of cred. You're not sweating it, though. Drastic is the only way you operate. Jade. Mwah, mwah. I know you're happy, as am I, but mwah, mwah, mwah. Why not give the children a break? There's a soda machine in the hallway over there. They can decompress from today's events, and we can talk business. Business? Yes, business. The kind of business that probably warrants our discussion and attention unmitigated by daughterly distraction. Oh. Okay, then. One more for the road. Yiffy, receive finishing blow. An end to the indecency. About time. Engineering that reprieve might be just about the only real solid your no-show non-mom has ever actually bothered to do for you. Now the real shit hits the fan. She's trying to listen at the door back there already. The fucking vending machine. Yeah, so this is like... somewhere in here is where Harry starts messaging Tabby. I tried to remember if I had ever seen you drink soda before. I'm pretty sure I saw this brand in Aunt Jade's groceries once and made some assumptions. A lot has happened, huh? Shit, is really going down. And also, everyone knows you exist now instead of just me and our moms. Wow. You know, I was almost kidnapped once. My mom removed the window after that, which, sucked. Though, I guess you'd know, about that. You're bombing it here, buddy. Sorry. I know that things have been complicated and kind of bad for you, on no small part because of our families, and especially mine, but I'm glad you're here now, and I think maybe I could try to help you out, now that you're here, more than I have in the past, which is to say, very little. You could maybe turn around while I'm talking to you? Double middle fingers. Pepis! Serving Yiffy an ice cold Pepis. Okay, man. Look at this errant Beavis double-fisting those cans of pop. He should just put one down. They're not even open yet. But here he is, holding both and unable to take a sip of either, like a chump. Hopefully he learns a valuable lesson from all this. A valuable lesson? To not pick up a second can of pop until you've opened your own? Yeah, the double two. What matters right now is not delicious treats or mutual maternal malaise, but the conversation being had on the other side of this door. The room is soundproof, of course. Yiffy, swipe a backstage pass. Ha ha ha. And clunk goes the vent cover. And Tabby's like, you're doing what? The sylph has been slow boiling, you can tell. Your ma got pretty far with her martyr's gambit, but even capricious goddesses like her have to pay the piper eventually. You're not about to miss it. You've only been around this earth for 15 years, but it's a self-evident fact that there are no useful authorities. Gifted with unimaginable power, their concern only stretches so far as to manhandle those dependent on them, and tangles into ineffectual deadlock the instant it meets a challenge worth addressing. Potential killed for the sake of comfort. True kindness is real, but only for those that bear teeth and break skin. Why should these disingenuous, bystanding, spineless, selfish adults get anything they want? Yiffy, enjoy the show. That's a good speech. That's good writing. That's good words right there. You hope they eat each other alive. Be the selfish adults. You cannot be one of the selfish adults. They have enough going on as it is with their immense baggage. Oh boy, here we fucking go. I've already forgotten how this conversation went, but I didn't know. It was a lot. It's a lot. This is a lot. Water. Kanaya, it looked for a moment back there as if you were going to actually go through with our mutilate the hostage beyond recognition ruse. With Yiffy rescued and the other children absent, might now be an appropriate time to hash it all out? And what do you feel needs to be hashed out? And what do you feel needs to be hashed exactly? Well, Kanaya, I know you haven't been very happy, and you're probably super frustrated, but first off, I want to say thank you so much for putting everything aside to help us. You're the reason I have my girl back, and with minimal bullet holes, too. Ha ha ha. Also, you have every right to be angry. This isn't just a little white lie. It's a whole bed of secrets, which then became an entire child. But whatever it takes to earn back your trust, I'll do it. Ever since we first met, I've respected you, felt cared for by you. I hate how I returned that kindness, Jade. And of course you aren't obligated to ever forgive me, but I don't want to lose you too. I love you, Kanaya. You're my family. You fucked my wife. Oh my god. That like almost didn't make it out before I started laughing. Oh my god, here we go. Exhales. And interesting choice as she says this and as she's trying to process all of this. She's pasting over her Rose Lalonde lilac lipstick with her own signature jade green. Top 10 Homestuck jokes overall. That it was pretty good. Okay, hold on. My apologies, Jade. That was very brave and, of course, extremely forthcoming of you. A refreshing change of pace from the ongoing process of haggling the truth out of the two of you, detail by sordid detail, following the yiffy reveal. Implying we are leaving out information that could remedy this situation. Implying. Sorry. I didn't want you to remedy the situation. I wanted you to own it. Instead, you let John lead the conversation with his stupid questions, and sprinkled out a gauche attempt at a tear. But a bit shameless, perhaps. It was theatrical. Well, unlike John, I am not a stranger to your lives. When you feed me some half-baked lie about Karkat and Dave wanting to adopt, I know better. And though that travesty of a name is undoubtedly an incomprehensibly offensive piece of this particular puzzle, what I see is not an explanation, but a glossing over of the worst detail. Jane. Rose, that woman is going to ruin the future for our daughter, and you snuggled into a secret bed with her. For so long I couldn't convince you to share a cup of tea with Jade. Then years later, you happen to grow a sympathy gland and decide to jump right to sharing offspring. It's my fault, Kanaya. She was the only option I had left. Sure, let us go with that, considering your stated distaste for ectobiology. That's only suitable for trolls, correct? No! Everyone deserves a choice. But I already have an entire kingdom of ecto-children. This had to be different. No one wants to contribute to the off-brand doppelganger strolling the streets. Easily the worst aspect of this place. Is that why you acquiesced? Because I am stumped on that part as well. If memory serves, when we were adopting Vriska, I mentioned the precarious possibility of a Jade Davecat brood. What is it that you said again? I believe your approximate verbiage was that their dysfunctional human centipede of a relation... Sorry. That's just a really fucking funny way to describe that situation. Oh, highlight you might watch... Dave made a maze if you've got no idea what me and Aleph are on about. I do have no idea what you and Aleph are on about. Okay. Dave made a maze. Writing it down. Okay. Back to this. They're dysfunction. Sorry. Let me try that again. A scene in that movie where the characters all just start quoting Raging Bull at each other, but only that one line. Okay. I believe your approximate verbiage was that their dysfunctional human centipede of a relationship is soaking with lighter fluid and begging to burn, and that you would feel sorry for the grub. Jade's qualities rang too familiar, right? Evasive, pushy, lacking in proper coping mechanisms, carrying an air of unspeakable sadness. Oh my god, and Tav is up there with it, of course. The poor kid. Congratulations. You've managed to exhume the solemn cadaver of my mother's memory and make her the star of another argument. As if you ever bothered to bury her. What does this have to do with anything? What I am doing is demonstrating that I have no intention to mediate this situation, or pacify it, or even be a little bit nice right now. So perhaps you'll actually take me seriously for once, instead of assuming you can pull the Bobby's keratin over my eyes and distract me from the awful reality that you trusted a monster over me and can't even tell me why. And if you don't like the answers, that is future Rose's problem. I see. Okay. Okay? I want it on the record, involving Jane was not my decision, but it was a pre-established requisite that I did not fight against. It was Jade's child, after all, and you're not completely wrong, either. I may have felt some pang of responsibility, for a litany of psychologically revealing reasons, but more than anything else, I took her up on it because it felt oddly inevitable. Anyways, deep down, I knew it didn't matter however we handled it, whatever hurt we caused. It was never that serious. I knew you would forgive me. Oh no, that's what no, Rose. That's such a... Like, I'm trying to think of the right wording for it. Like, this is like a thing that people who can see the future, it's a trope thing. I'm missing my words. Do you all know what I mean anyway? Like, oh, Rose, no. Rose, when did you stop trying? Yeah, Rose, what the fuck? This is not what we discussed. You're devaluing Kanaya's feelings, minimizing our impact on her. Whoa, I'm defending you. No, you are pissing me off. This is such a good panel. But I just don't want things to get even worse. Then stop pretending that my feelings are top priority and try being honest for once. What does it even matter? Excuse me? You heard me. You were wronged, Kanaya. The truth can't change that. Saying it just fucking hurts more. What does that accomplish? It's so embarrassing. Would you even get it if I had? You haven't been alone since you were 13, and the first chance you got, you packed up your cosmic purpose and hid away in the brooding caverns. And you have no idea what it's like out there. How traumatizing dating regular citizens was. Imagine trying to love someone who already knows every available detail about you, who has opinions on what happened to you as a child, who assumes you're indestructible. Newsflash, it fucking sucks, because no matter how nice they were, they didn't want to know me. They wanted to date the god of space, and I felt sorry for disappointing them. I had my suspicions, but I had no idea it had been that bad. You didn't even hint at it. Why would I? So everyone could lecture me again on how bad my boundaries are? I did that one time. You want bad boundaries? Do you know how many people would be waiting outside public bathrooms to talk to me about their problems? This one guy randomly started apologizing because they cooked their hamster in a microwave. And then they looked so sad. I had to hug them and say it was okay. But it was not okay. They murdered their hamster. Ugh. And their other hamster killed itself. Jade. Out of loneliness. Get to the point. Yeah, hold on. This is like totally derailing. Anime villain ass, yeah. Rant is about why dating Homestuck fans sucks. In a sense. But yeah, that train derailed a little bit ago. Oh god, these panels are just so fucking good. Oh man. There's just some good shit happening here. The dithering. I know words, I think. Harder than... Oh, shut up! Maybe. Millions of people told me they loved me, but I was never a real person to them. I couldn't let that happen to Yiffy too. Right, the whole thing with hiding Yiffy away was not wanting that kind of nonsense to happen to her too. But from what we've seen, that hasn't entirely happened to... I mean, we don't know Versy's social situation, but Harry's just kind of been going to normal kid school and mostly been fine. I don't know. We're probably missing a lot of elaboration, but yeah, not wanting that kind of isolation to happen to her, but sending her trip... Anyway, I'm going to keep reading. What? I had to save her, Kanaya. Give her the chance to grow up as a normal kid with a normal life. Not one where people would befriend her to get close to me, or fucking bark at her when she walked down the street. And Jane had the resources to provide that. Every scare we've had, she was able to cover up. She literally controls the media, for Christ's sake. Didn't follow the disco streams. Did not know Detective Kim's got his own emote here now. Oh yeah, I've added a bunch of, I filled up all the follower emote slots, and one of them is indeed Detective Kim Kitsuragi, because he's wonderful. Oh, the dog, and the dog one is my literal actual dog. We could have figured it out. Indebting yourself to the second coming of the condescension was hardly the only answer. I was right here. That's true, but you could have said no, or worse. I can live with Rose doing this because she wanted to see what would happen, but I couldn't stand the idea of owing my kid to the fact you felt sorry for me, especially after the Dave and Carcat situation. I couldn't do that again. We could have helped you if you let us. I needed a fresh start, not to sit around taking care of grubs and watching shitty rom-coms forever and wasting away in an empty house. I wanted to live, and living here is already so hard. And not only because of the war or what happened to Dirk or whatever the hell is wrong with John. The world is fucked. And yet, despite all that, Yiffy turned out to be so good. And she's mine. Jade, remember. Wow. Little Yiffy playing soccer. I love the sepia tone over the memory. Yiffy exists because I needed her to. Oh, baby. Oh, little baby. She's the only future I have left. Jade, I recognize you have had to sacrifice principles to survive, and that is hard to live with. Even now, I can sympathize, but 15 years? Even if I didn't want her, she was already here, so why make it worse? Why perpetuate the lie? Crack. The jig is up. Tavi, continue to hold 2 cans. Oh my god. You are now Tavi, but boy do you wish you weren't. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. And this. The cadaver of one Dave Strider, perhaps? Where are we in this update? Yeah, the next one. Rose and Kanaya receive call. Yeah, this is the last page of this. -1, -1, -1, -1. Yeah. Davenstein? Perhaps? Because what other corpse would Jade have in her inventory? In her, Silodex. Incoming transmission. I take it you don't consider the matter concluded. I take it you don't consider the matter concluded to your satisfaction? An incredibly astute observation. You really are a seer. I love Kanaya's sarcasm. I love one Kanaya Merriam so fucking much. I always have and I always will with the whole of my being. I do also love Rose and Jade, but Kanaya is just... she's real great. Oh my. Okay. So, the rest of that conversation continues in the next month. So for now, let's take a look at February 10th news post. And it's a little early, but I think I'll call it there just so that we can keep the story in proper chunks and also not go stupendously over time. Okay. Hi, James here. Happy Lunar New Year. We got our monthly illustration going up today over on Patreon. This one is by our art director, Kim. It's cool. It's so cool and stars my favorite character. Which character? I'll never tell. I'll never mention it. I've never mentioned it. Don't look that up. James Roach, a radio lover. Another day, another update, huh? We thought it would be fun to have a little twofer and do the update today, too. It's a short month. That reminds me of a joke my stepdad used to tell where he would ask what month turkeys gobble the least. And you'd go, oh my god, November, because of Thanksgiving Day. How ghoulish, you old freak. And then he'd go, haha, no, it's February, because it's the shortest month. Now I'm the old freak, and I'm passing these incredible jokes to you. Passing on these incredible jokes to you. There are a few things cooking. The website is going through some internal testing. We've been working on some very cool updates with the sound symbol, which I don't believe has, which still has yet to come out, but I'm excited for when it does. There are a few down the line that I'm so excited about. I love these funny little guys. Thank you for trusting us. I know I say this every time, but it really means the world to me and the rest of the team. I finally get it when PBS would give a special thanks to viewers like you. Oh yeah, I saw this pretty popular VTuber was playing through Pester Quest, and I was surprised at how legit the guy was. Like, he really knew his stuff. He gave one of the most apt summaries of Homestuck I've ever heard. It was fun to watch, and it felt kinda nice to see someone belly laugh at my stupid jokes. Keep it up, brave soldier. Anyway, I'll keep it short this month. Is there anything you guys would like me to talk about? Hit me up on socials or whatever, and we can hash it out. Special shout out to Floral, who wrote... Of course, such a spectacular piece of Jade writing could only be the amazing Floral Marsupial. And Kim, who drew for this update. Oh god, that art was so good. I cannot say it enough. Like, god, it was so delicious. Recap for the recap crowd. New Patreon illustration for Lunar New Year. James tells a rambling old person story. New website going through internal testing. Winky face. I saw a VTuber and I liked it. What you doing? Hit me up. Cool. Yeah. So... Bonk. All right. We're a little early. Did get through this part a little bit faster than the first part, but I think I will call it here, and we'll do the next chunks on Monday. So we're going to be pushing things a little bit forward, in which, as I say, and I'm like, I always end up getting into misunderstandings or arguments with people about what it means to push something forward or back. Because apparently, I don't know, most people I've encountered when they say they're going to push something forward, what they mean is that they're going to bring it sooner in time. But I don't know. To me, forward means number goes up, as in at a date later than today. Anyway, whatever. Monday is Homestuck now instead of Genderwrecked, because we need to finish this first. Genderwrecked will continue to be the next thing that is streamed after the Homestuck stuff is concluded. But that's going to be polished off on the Monday now instead of tonight, and instead of Genderwrecked on Monday. But yeah, Genderwrecked is still going to be the next one. Oh, exciting news. Chicory, the game which I decided was going to be my next longer playthrough after we finish Disco Elysium. Chicory is on sale right now. So if you are enthused to, play that game yourself even, it's on sale on Steam. And I was poking it before stream, and I realized that the art book, the official art book, is also on sale. So I will be purchasing that immediately. Immediately following this stream, I will be purchasing the official art book and probably also the soundtrack. It's a great fucking game. It has, speaking of official things, it has officially been long enough since I played that game that I don't think I'm going to remember the solutions to all the puzzles anymore. So that's exciting, because whenever we finish Disco Elysium, Chicory's going to pick up the slack in that department. And that's the plan for that. I don't know at what point I will be able to get back to bonus streams, just because there's a lot of things happening in my schedule right now that are a little wonky. I'm imagining I will probably have to go back down to one stream a week, or go down to one stream a week, for June, just because of timing of things. We'll see how tired I am at any given point in time, because it would probably be Friday, Saturday if I do twice a week, or just Saturdays if I do once a week. Depends on how tired I am after a work week, and also after a day where I have to be functional at 8:30 in the morning. But yeah, so Chicory, it's happening. It's hopping. It's there. Yeah. So I think that's about it for updates. We'll keep going with this next Monday, and then 1 week from now, next Thursday, we will do a Genderwrecked, and then from there out, it's Disco Elysium, baby. Okay. That is where I bid you all farewell. Good to be back. Good to see all of you wonderful folks. And I hope I will be seeing you again on a fine Monday Eve to finish what has been started here today. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all back on Monday. Good night.